Goma and Konnichiwa. Plus, give a sale. There we go. Will here to the POLIT'AI CHI. Brief intro, talking briefly and concisely about news video highlights coming up, courtesy to Fox. I used to cover MSNBC and Bulk when they were worth covering. And what I mean by that was they were always a left of center type of network, but centrist, only slightly left of center. And so I leave that stuff on the channel as sort of a time capsule to show how much they have all lost their freaking minds. All right, this episode, playing politics at the border, we have Hannity, we have Bongino coming up, former Secret Service agent, who had the unenviable task of being assigned to HRC security detail. But a lot of interesting facts coming up in the form of, this is just one of many, I'm just giving you the snippet, or a snapshot as it were, a snapshot for real. Harvard-Harris poll, you can trust them, right? Pew Research, we got some facts coming up. This is just one of many. With regard to, hopefully there's not a lot of glare over here. I'm going to sneak down. So you got some high, nothing below 60% going on here with regards to what needs to be done with immigration. Hell, if you ever worked in the restaurant industry, and this going back even 30 years ago, how do I say this? There were a lot of dudes you may come across who were Hispanic because that was the line of work where one could make a decent amount of money based on the dollar versus the peso back then. I'm sure it may be that way now. They're good people. Now let me sound like the POTUS. They're good people. Just needed to come in legally, not rushing the border and taking advantage. I heard about this particular statement, quote unquote. Just to be clear, it's her describing, although Hannity says it's kind of odd. It's like, well, if this is quote unquote verbatim, then that is a little bit odd. Certainly not respectful, but by the same token, when you're a centrist, it's the burden of being a centrist. You have to call balls and strikes on both sides of the aisle. Something you'll never get from Teflon and nylon. They don't have the political experience. They don't have the life experience. All it is another exemplification of what was the axiomatic expression, or should I say idiom, proverb, take your pick of adjective, or adverb, as it were. What was old is new again. Well, I'm here to tell y'all, sassafras from whatever political side of the political aisle you're on just doesn't last very long. All right, thanks for watching. We're gonna close out with Bongino because he's very well spoken. He's got the passion without the vitriol. Roll.
All right, welcome to Hannity on this breaking news night. Let's go back to November 8th, 2016. You, we the people, shocked the world. You voted for a fighter, for a disruptor, someone who will battle hard to keep promises that he made to you, and someone who will stand up to Washington, the establishment, smash through government bureaucracy, and actually get things done. And it's working. Well, tonight, President Trump is on offense, determined to fund the wall on our southern border that he promised. He is now holding congressional Democrats accountable in a very public way, and yep, fighting for what he promised you. Now, coming up, we're going to show you how Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, while they're playing petty partisan politics, President Trump is determined to protect the American people. We're going to play you the tape from today's contentious, well, you might want to call it Trump beatdown, and explain why the blithering idiots leading the Democratic Party are way out of their league tonight. Plus, we'll review the president's plan for much-needed criminal justice reform. And I have a message for deranged New York Times hack Paul Krugman, who's literally saying the United States of America, our country, is part of the axis of evil. It was a really bad day for Michael Avenatti and Stormy Daniels, as she has now been ordered to pay nearly $300,000 for President Trump's legal bills. All right, stay tuned, and we have a huge announcement at the end of the show. But first, it's time for tonight's breaking news, well, Trump beatdown opening monologue. Let's be honest, border security is a deadly serious issue. Look at this. According to the Center for Immigration Studies, since 2001, 15 suspected terrorists, they've been apprehended at our southern border, including Islamic extremists from Al-Shabaab, the Taliban, ISIS. The true number of terrorist-related crossings is, of course, classified, likely much higher. And meanwhile, over 25,000 other known criminal immigrants have been arrested since 2016. This includes over a dozen murderers, 370 convicted sex offenders, and nearly 5,000 individuals convicted of illegal drug or weapons charges. Now, of course, I would tell you the vast majority of people that want to cross the border illegally probably are people that want a better life for themselves and their family. But even illegal immigrants with the best intentions, they are costing we, the taxpayers, an enormous amount of money. According to a recent study, every illegal immigrant that successfully crosses our border costs you, the American people, $70,000 a year. And on December 3rd, over 3,000 people were caught illegally crossing in just one day. In November, a 2-year-old toddler was found crossing the border without a parent, and yet again, they are on the wrong side of what is a monumentally important issue. Look at this. According to a Harvard-Harris poll, the majority of Americans, they support the president, the wall on our southern border. 79% support a merit-based immigration system. 79% want more secure borders. 61% say the current border security is inadequate. And 68% want an end to the visa lottery system. Now, Democrats don't want to listen to the American people. Maybe they should just listen to themselves, because they're such hypocrites. In the Obama years, they sounded a lot like Donald Trump. And we've got the tape to prove it. Take a look.
I voted numerous times when I was a senator to spend money to build a to try to prevent illegal immigrants from coming in. And I do think you have to control your borders.
People who enter the United States without our permission are illegal aliens, and illegal aliens should not be treated the same as people who entered the U.S. legally. The American people will never accept immigration reform unless they truly believe that their government is committed to ending future illegal immigration.
Those who enter our country illegally, and those
Who was that man? Was that Chucky? Chucky Schmoozer? I mean, Senator Chuck
We live
Schumer.
in an age where terrorists are challenging our
See the difference between I and the president. I wouldn't be mean-spirited about it. Make a little satirical comment.
Undetected, undocumented, and unchecked.
Leave it at that.
Oh, how times have changed. They all sounded like little baby Donald Trumps. Now, we've warned you for a long time. Now Democrats, now they want open borders. Sanctuary cities, sanctuary states. They even want to get rid of ICE and all the hard work that they do, all together. But remember, they want to keep this agenda hidden, which is exactly, was one of the more fascinating moments during that exchange with the president that went on 11, 12 minutes today. They kept urging the president over and over, can we talk privately? Please, please, you're killing us. And sure as sign, by the way, they know that they were out of touch with the American people. Can we please...
I wouldn't go that far. They just didn't want to be embarrassed by
The point
it.
is that their equities to be weighed, and we're here to have a conversation in a prayerful way, so I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this. But again, let us have our conversation, then we can meet with the press again.
But that's our proposal. If it's good then, it's good now, and it won't shut down the government.
Except we can build a
But that's
much
it.
bigger section
Let's
with
debate.
more money.
Let's debate in private. Okay? Yeah. Let's debate in private.
Okay, we came in here in good faith, and we're entering into this kind of a discussion in the public view.
But it's not bad, Nancy.
No.
It's called transparency.
And let us have a conversation where we don't have to contradict.
And you know, it's Pence how he's just sitting back, observing everyone. Very cool, even-keeled customer there.
No, let's have the conversation in public so we can all see where you really stand. Instead of working towards a solution, you see it. Democrats playing politics and literally commencing with their favorite activity, bashing Trump, including, now, moments after that tense exchange in the White House, watch this.
Brace yourself.
The Trump shutdown is something that can be avoided, that the American people do not need.
Can you believe that smile?
Economic uncertainty, people losing jobs.
Because here's the thing with Pelosi. She has that little lower lip curl when she's annoyed. That's her tell. Everyone has a little psychological tell, emotionally speaking, as a body language, a facial expression. Reading expert.
And he will get a shutdown.
He's better at it out there.
This temper tantrum that he seems to throw will not get him his wall, and it'll hurt a lot of people.
Well, he doesn't have to. It's freaking words. Do it for him.
He admitted he
I
wants
spoke
to
too
shut
soon.
down.
I was going to suggest something to y'all, but no.
want that.
Forget
The
it.
president said things are working well.
In a word.
We want to give him the same thing he had last year. If they're working well last year, they should work well this year. He shouldn't shut down the government.
Amazing. Chuck couldn't look him in the eye when he was right in front of him, but he comes out strong when those cameras are out there and he doesn't have anybody to debate or to refute what he is saying. Actually, Chuck, the president said he would own it, that he's willing to fight for his promise for the American people and that national security is that important to him. Okay, he says he owns it. Accept it. And Nancy Pelosi gets back to the security of Capitol Hill. She actually then questioned the president's, I can't make this up, manhood, telling her fellow Democrats, quote, it's like a manhood thing for him, as if manhood could ever be associated with him. This wall thing. And according to the Hill, she also made this odd, weird, bizarre analogy. It goes to show you, you get into a tinkle contest with a skunk, and you get tinkle all over you. And the other part is, I'll take ownership of the safety of the American people, absolutely. It's worth fighting over.
Yeah, they dropped a huge L on this today, Sean, Nancy and Chuck. They lost big. And Sean, something happened that should indicate to everybody watching just how badly they lost that interaction in the Oval Office with Trump. Did you see how quickly not only they jumped to the cameras, but then on Capitol Hill, there was a flurry to get to the cameras again. They couldn't reframe this thing any quicker, but they realized something happened here. Right in front of the country, they were put on the spot with a simple question. Will a wall increase border security or not? And Chuck and Nancy flubbed. There's no mulligan. We all saw it. They dropped a huge loss, and Trump exposed them for what they are.